Welcome. I'm Lee Cowan, and this is Here Comes the Sun, a closer look at some of the people, places, and things we bring you every weekend on Sunday morning. Actor Ted Danson may not have grown up with a television in his home, but that didn't stop him from wanting to be on one and becoming an award-winning actor along the way. His latest project, A Man on the Inside, is based on a documentary about an 83-year-old man who goes undercover in a Chilean nursing home, looking for signs of mistreatment. Danson told our Tracy Smith he hopes his new show allows people to realize that life doesn't end at the age of 65, a mindset he acquired from another Hollywood star.
At 76, Ted Danson himself is aging gracefully, with an attitude inspired by a Hollywood legend, Jane Fonda.
She was turning 80, and at 70, I was starting to go, well, I better look for a nice place to land, you know, this life plane or whatever. And I looked at her and it was like, no, she has her foot on the gas pedal. She's like doing a 12-hour day shooting her show, jumping on a bus to go, you know, support the service industry in Sacramento with a handful of women. Don't slow down, just keep going. Keep living your life.
Later in the show, Ted Danson explains his view on death.
I don't know what I'll really be like, but yeah, I think I am. Yeah, I think I am. You don't get to choose whether illness comes your way or a great deal of pain or something like that. If I have my wits about me and I'm not dealing with a great deal of pain, I think I will also be excited.
Then David Pogue meets with individuals who are creating ways to minimize the amount of whale deaths associated with cargo and cruise ship accidents. One of the solutions is to slow the ships down from 18 miles an hour to about 12, allowing whales to swim out of the way.
This is much akin to having a slow speed zone around a school.
There's an emissions payoff for the ports, too.
Slower ships emit less air pollution and reduce the amount of greenhouse gases they emit out of their stacks.
But rerouting and slowing down both require a key piece of data for the ship captains. Are there whales ahead? And that's where technology comes in.
That's all coming up right here on Here Comes the Sun. Actor Ted Danson has starred in many hit shows throughout his career, most notably on sitcoms like The Good Place and, of course, Cheers. Now at 76, he's taking on a new role in Netflix's A Man on the Inside. The show, based on a true story, follows Danson working with a private investigator and becoming a mole inside a nursing home. He discusses that mole role and what he's learned from that experience with our Tracy Smith.
I am nervous about talking about this show.
What makes you nervous? Why is it? What is it about this show that
because I want people to see it. I really do. I think it's an important conversation.
It's strange to think of Ted Danson as nervous about anything.
I'm just worried about him. He's retired now.
But in this case, it's not hard to see why.
Hello, hello, hello. Get out of my room, weirdo.
I don't do yoga. I'm naturally flexible.
His latest project means a lot to him.
I don't know how to be a spy.
And it touches everyone.
Got your phone? Camera glasses? Recorder? Are you just tapping different parts of your body?
Yes, I left everything in my room. I'm just so excited. I'll be right back.
In the new Netflix series, A Man on the Inside, Danson is a recently retired widower without much to do until he answers an ad from a private investigator and becomes a mole inside a nursing home.
What do you want me to do?
You would check into the community, pretending to be a new resident. I would give you various recording devices, and you would be my source, my mole.
A Man on the Inside. I'm in.
Like a lot of TV series, the premise seems a little far-fetched, but this one's true. It's based on this, The Mole Agent, a 2020 documentary about a real-life 83-year-old who goes undercover in a Chilean nursing home, looking for signs of patients being mistreated.
Tú, a contar de hoy día, vas a ser un agente topo, un espía.
What the documentary found was a group of elderly people fighting loneliness and loss with heart and humor. A Man on the Inside is no different, says series creator Mike Schur.
I would say the purpose of this show is simply to discuss a subject that very few people discuss, which is aging. It's this subject that we just don't like to talk about. It's thought of in this country, I think more than other countries, as something almost shameful or embarrassing.
You made a mistake. If you're dying, you somehow made a mistake.
You screwed up. Yeah, you screwed up. You got old, you know? And I think that's weird because this is what happens if we're lucky. If we're lucky, we get old.
I haven't done this for a long time. Walked along the beach.
Yeah, it's nice.
At 76, Ted Danson himself is aging gracefully, with an attitude inspired by a Hollywood legend, Jane Fonda.
She was turning 80. And at 70, I was starting to go, well, I better look for a nice place to land, you know, this life plane or whatever. And I looked at her and it was like, no, she has her foot on the gas pedal. She's like doing a 12-hour day shooting her show, jumping on a bus to go, you know, support the service industry in Sacramento with a handful of women. Don't slow down, just keep going. Keep living your life. I think that's one of the things our elders can pass on to us. This is how you live life right up until the end.
Seems like Ted Danson's elders set a good example. His parents wouldn't allow a TV in their home.
My mother didn't like them.
Because?
She'd rather you read or go out and play or be creative.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
But then Ted got famous on TV.
Did they get a TV?
Yes, but they put kind of this beautiful tapestry over the front of it. So when you walked in their house, you didn't see a TV. You saw this beautiful tapestry with a candle on top. And they would take it off and watch Cheers.
So, who's next to chill us with a scary story, huh?
Well, I think I have a chilling tale.
Yeah, but it's cute when you wiggle it.
Truth is, the world watched Cheers.
You said maybe. You said maybe. Rebecca thinks I'm a maybe!
I did not say that. I said that you kiss like my Uncle Abie.
No.
Danson still credits his success today to that one show about a Boston bar. But since he hung up his apron in 1993, he's been in hit after hit. He was the title character in Becker.
She calls me the angry man. Me. You believe that? I like to take that stupid book and just ram it down his throat.
I want you to feel the disgust in your children's eyes when they look on you in shame.
In Damages, he held his own with Glenn Close.
Well, this has been lovely.
He went to heaven and hell in The Good Place.
It's a torture museum. Famous examples of bad behavior and explanations of the torture they earned.
Is there a gift shop?
Jason, this is hell. Of course there's a gift shop.
Actually, you know what?
And he's even played himself in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I'm here to ask your permission if I could date Cheryl. Boom.
Our oceans are in jeopardy of being fished out commercially.
Along the way, Danson's used his fame to draw attention to his passion project, Oceana, an organization dedicated to preserving the world's oceans.
You feel like you've made enough progress in Oceana so far? I mean, you've done great work with plastics and things like that.
Yes. I mean, our focus is on fishing, overfishing, making sure that the fisheries of the world are healthy, because if done right, you could feed 1 billion people a fish meal every day.
That sounds a little like a miracle, something he touches on in his new show, and something he says he lives with every day.
I'm curious, in your life, what are the miracles?
Mary Steenburgen is literally heaven sent. I did some work on myself for about a year before I met her, after Cheers, you know, becoming emotionally mature and real. And I worked hard at it, and then along came Mary Steenburgen, but she, you know, that's, we are so blessed. To love somebody and to be loved is just one of those heaven on earth miracles. And that came with Mary, you know.
And the idea Ted Danson is hoping to share with his latest project.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I had impure thoughts about Pedro Pascal again.
Is that miracles can be found in any life, right up until the very end.
This is your life. not just up to, 65 and then you retire and going down. No, you get to live right up until you don't live. And it's your life. It's such a gift. Explore it and be excited about it. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's sad. Yes, there's grief. Yes, there's all of that. But embrace it. Embrace it is kind of what I think the message of the show is. It's what I hope I live with.
Embracing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gets you a little emotional.
I'm just emotional because I finally said something I wanted to say.
After the break, an exclusive excerpt from Tracy Smith's chat with Ted Danson, something you can only see right here on Here Comes the Sun. Stay with us. As promised, here's more from Tracy Smith's interview with Ted Danson.
You really have been able to, at every age, be in a successful show. How did that happen?
Writers, good writers. I'm sitting here talking to you because of Cheers. Cheers was such an amazing platform. And that was Les and Glenn Charles and Jimmy Burrows. So that gave me this amazing ambassadorship out into the world. But it's always, if you're lucky to be around really good writers, you have a chance of having longevity, I think. And bumping into Mike Schur on The Good Place, I walk around and most of the people who come up to me are 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds who saw that show and love it.
What's that like?
Lovely, because it's about living a purposeful life. It's about trying to be a little bit better every day. That's kind of the message of that show, wrapped in 9-year-old fart humor and great visual effects. But it really is about something important. And I think this show, A Man on the Inside, continues that.
Do you think about that, dying?
Yes, but I'm very philosophical. But I'm that guy on the airplane that is philosophical right up until the first bump, the first bit of turbulence. And oh dear Lord. So I don't know what I'll really be like. But yeah, I think I am. Yeah, I think I am. You don't get to choose whether illness comes your way or a great deal of pain or something like that. If I have my wits about me and I'm not dealing with a great deal of pain, I think I will also be excited.
You think you might be excited when you get to the end?
Oh, I don't, my mother was. I don't know if I'll be, that self-aware, but I hope so. But it's really about living your life right up until the end. And that's the Jane Fonderness for me of this subject is keep going, keep nurturing. There's stuff to do. Keep taking care of people around you. Yes, there's diminishment, absolutely, of course. I mean, I feel at 77 not as physically able as I was, in my 40s or 50s. But so you look at it differently. Okay, now I'm a professional athlete. Now I have to work harder for this. They work every day, professional athletes, in pain, in rehab, doing all this stuff so they can play. Have that attitude. Be a professional athlete when you reach those elder years.
Up next, a whale of a tale. Welcome back. Blue whales, humpbacks, and fin whales are all on the endangered species list. One of the reasons is the result of cruise ships and cargo ships colliding with these colossal creatures. At Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute, though, marine ecologists have created a way to detect whale songs from the ocean that could give ship captains the warning that they need to avoid crashing into one of these beloved and increasingly vulnerable species. Here's David Pogue.
So we're on the beach at Half Moon Bay, and we see this massive thing.
In the summer of 2022, I was walking on a California beach when I saw the strangest thing approaching on the waves. When it struck the shore and deflated, I knew it was a dead whale. But it wasn't just any whale.
I knew this whale. I'm like, oh, and it just hit my heart because Fran is, at the time, she was the most well-known whale in our entire database.
Ted Cheeseman is the creator of HappyWhale.com, a database of whale sightings. It includes over 850 pictures of Fran, the humpback whale, identified by her tail markings.
She had a big personality. She's playful around Whale Watch Boat. You know, you'd hear on the radio, hey, Fran's over here. Oh, cool. You know, let's go hang out with Fran.
Oh, look at Fran lying on his side. Fran, what's up?
Fran had a baby known as Aria.
There's mom and calf. Cute little Fran and Aria. So what happened to mother is killed and there's this orphan. We didn't know if the calf could survive. I didn't think so. I didn't think it was very likely.
Fran died from a collision with one of the cruise ships and container ships that make more than 200 million trips a year.
Number 1 and number 2 threats to whales are ship strikes and entanglements in fishing gear.
Sean Hastings is a policy manager for NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Nobody knows exactly how many whales are ship strike victims every year because most of them sink after they're hit. But blue whales, humpbacks, and fin whales are on the endangered list, and the northern right whale is just about extinct. Only about 350 of them are left on Earth.
That's why every whale counts, so that we can bring their populations back and help them recover.
The good news is that the shipping companies themselves say they care.
There's no one in our industry that wants to see any one of these magnificent creatures harmed or killed by anything we do.
This is one of your smaller ships?
This is one of the smaller ships, yeah.
Bud Darr is the policy director for the world's largest shipping company, MSC.
Are your knees getting tired yet? Mine are.
They will. Your thighs will feel like you skied a double black diamond.
He wanted to demonstrate why ship captains can't just steer clear of whales.
And we're looking forward to the bow here?
You are, yeah.
Okay, now I get why the captain cannot see a whale. It's hundreds of feet away.
It is, and very difficult to see them in close proximity.
And even if you could spot a whale ahead, there's not much you could do about it.
You know, the ship is an extremely large object. It's moving very fast and it's noisy. I mean, you may not know there was impact with the whale at all, if there was. Unfortunately, I mean, you've had whales that have remained on a bulbous bow of a ship when it's come in.
One obvious solution, move the shipping routes.
Off of Sri Lanka, we realized if we could just move where we operate about 15 miles further offshore from where that was, you could reduce the risk by 95% or more.
But the approach channels to most ports don't have the room for rerouting. So the second best idea is to slow the ships down from about 18 miles an hour to 12.
By slowing ships down, it gives the whales more opportunity to get out of the way. And in the event that they are struck, there's a higher likelihood of survival of the ship. This is much akin to having a slow speed zone around a school.
There's an emissions payoff for the ports, too.
Slower ships emit less air pollution and reduce the amount of greenhouse gases they emit out of their stacks.
But rerouting and slowing down both require a key piece of data for the ship captains. Are there whales ahead? And that's where technology comes in.
So this is called a Slocum glider. It's an autonomous vehicle.
At the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute, marine ecologist Mark Baumgartner's lab operates a fleet of gliders like this one. They fly beneath the waves, listening for whale song.
Every 2 hours, the vehicle comes to the surface, uses the antenna to send all that information home to a computer in my lab.
He's also deploying an array of these microphone buoys. The whole point of all these machines is to listen for this.
And they're likely transmitting information to either other males or females to say how big I am, how fit I am, maybe we'd like to get a drink later, right? So all the things that men do to attract women is encoded in that song.
Ship captains receive word of the whale locations from the buoys and gliders so they can slow down. But on the West Coast, slowing down is voluntary. At whalesafe.com, you can see the paths of the ships, the locations of the whales, and letter grades for shipping company compliance. About 30% of them still plow ahead full speed, ignoring the warnings. MSC's Bud Darr can tell you why.
And there is some impact on the schedule. There is some impact on cost that probably comes with that, and that takes a lot of sophistication and planning to mitigate that and get that right. But most of these solutions are manageable.
Compliance is also voluntary on most of the East Coast, so ships continue to kill northern right whales. NOAA has proposed a regulation that would make the slowdowns mandatory in more areas. Mark Baumgartner is cautiously optimistic.
If I didn't have a little bit of hope, I'd just go home and curl up in a ball and be done with it. So, helps keep me going.
Well, maybe this will cheer him up. Remember Aria, Fran's baby whale? Whale tracker Ted Cheeseman has some news.
I got a phone call from a naturalist, and he says, "Hey, Ted, I think I've seen Aria just now. Can you confirm this?" And then he texts me a photo. I confirmed. I'm like, yes. And it was so exciting.
Aria's alive.
Aria's alive. You know, hopefully in a few years' time, she'll bring a calf here. And if we protect them from ship strikes, if we protect them from entanglements, if we continue to protect the health of the ocean, you know, happily ever after, I hope. I'm Lee Cowan. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right here next time on Here Comes the Sun.